Alrighty, factoring quadratic trinomials, part 2. Our learning target is still to factor a quadratic trinomial. We just have some more examples. You'll notice these ones are just a little bit different because there's a number in front of the x squared, but we're going to work it the same way. So I thought the other video was a little long, so we're just going to try to go for a second one here. So here we go. So 5x squared plus 23x plus 12. It is still a quadratic trinomial, so we are good. We're going to take the first number times the last number. Our numbers are just going to be a little bit bigger, no biggie. 5 times 12 is 60. Right? Let's just think of some choices. What times what would give me 60? 10 times 6, 12 times 5, 20 times 3. I think that's good for now, so let's see how we do. Put plus signs in between. 10 plus 6 is 16, 12 plus 5 is 17, 20 plus 3 is 23. Notice we were looking for 23, we found it. So let's split our polynomial up. We're going to have 5x squared plus 20x plus 3x plus 12. We are now ready to do the GCF. Here we go. Factor by grouping. Alright, for the first part, I noticed that 5 will go into both of them and they both have an x. So let's try that here. 5x squared divided by 5x is x plus, the x is zap, 20 divided by 5 is 4. So that part's done. Bring down my plus sign. Next part, 3 will go into both of those, so that will be my GCF. We're going to divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1x, plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. And just like we want to have happen, they both do have the x plus 4 in parentheses, so we get to factor that out. Start our parentheses, write that underneath each part. X plus 4 zap, I'm left with 5x. X plus 4 zap each other out, I'm left with plus 3. And we are set. There's no big difference with the 5 there, still the same process. Alright, so this time once again it is a quadratic trinomial, so we're going to take the 4 times the negative 9. That will give us negative 36. So what times what would give me negative 36? Let's see, negative 9 times 4, negative 4 times 9, negative 12 times 3, negative 3 times 12. Let me see if any of those choices work. Put plus signs in between. Negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. Negative 4 plus 9 is 5. Negative 12 plus 3 is negative 9. Negative 3 plus 12 is 9. Notice that I don't know why it always seems to be my last choice that works, but here we go. Alright, so I wanted 9. This choice works. So I'm ready to rewrite my polynomial. 4x squared minus 3x plus 12x minus 9. So we are now ready to factor using grouping. Let's do it here. On this first one, I noticed other than 1, there's not a number that will go into both 4 and 3, but I do notice they both have an x, so x will be my GCF. 4x squared divided by x is going to be 4x minus, that was supposed to be an x, the x's zap each other, I'm left with 3. Bring down the plus sign. What number will go into 12 and 9? That's going to be 3. They both don't have an x, so I can't do anything with that. And we'll divide it out. 12x divided by 3 is going to be 4x minus 9 divided by 3 is 3. Great. They both have a 4x minus 3, so that gets factored out. And we'll put that underneath each part. 4x minus 3 zap each other out. I'm left with x. 4x minus 3 zap each other out. I'm left with plus 3, and I'm factored. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you, and then you get number 10 on your own. Here we go. Same thing, it is a quadratic trinomial, so we are going to take 6 times negative 5. That's going to give me negative 30. What times what gives me negative 30? Let's see. We're going to have negative 3 times 10, negative 10 times 3, negative 15 times 2, negative 2 times 15. I could keep going if I have to, but let's see if one of these work. Put some plus signs in between. Negative 3 plus 10 is 7. Oh, guess what? I'm usually on the last one. I'm going to stop right here because I found one that worked. So we are going to split it. 6x squared minus 3x plus 10x minus 5. And now I'm ready to factor by grouping. Here we go. Alright, on the first one, I noticed that 3 will go into both of them and they both have an x. If I divide that out, I will get 2x minus the x's zap, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So make sure we do have to put something there. We can't just leave it blank. Bring down my plus sign. 5 will go into both of those. They both don't have an x. If I divide that out, 10x divided by 5 is 2x minus 5 divided by 5 is 1. Again, we have to put something there. We can't leave it blank. They both have a 2x minus 1. Would you look at that? All right, 2x minus 1, start my parenthesis. That goes underneath each part. 2x minus 1, zap each other out, I'm left with 3x. 2x minus 1, zap each other out, I'm left with plus 5. And there we go. All right, number 10, it's all you. What I'd like you to do, make sure you pause this video and try it on your own and come back and see how you did. All right, it is a quadratic trinomial, so same process is followed. 3 times 2 is 6. What times what gives me 6? 3 times 2, 1 times 6. I'm going to stop there. Plus signs, 3 plus 2 is 5, 1 plus 6 is 7. I wanted 5, so this is my choice. 3x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 2. You might have written yours as 2x plus 3x, and that's okay. It's still going to work out, but here we go. All right, put them together, put them together. We're going to, GCF of this first part is 3x. So I'm going to get x plus 1, and then plus. We're going to factor out a 2. I'll get x plus 1. They both have an x plus 1. So x plus 1. Right underneath each part. Forgot to draw my parenthesis. Zap, I'm left with 3x. Zap, I'm left with plus 2. And I am factored. If you happen to do it the other way, I just want to show you how you would have been totally right. Okay, we have circled. This one, they only have in common is x. So I would have factored out and got 3x plus 2. And then this next one, they don't have anything in common, so the only number that will go into both of them is 1. So if I divided out a 1, I'd still have 3x plus 2 left. Notice now they both have the 3x plus 2, and I could have finished it just like I did down below. So either one is fine. It doesn't matter which one you write first. You still will get the right answer. So hopefully now you really are getting good at factoring quadratic trinomials.